Today we're going to take a look at doing synthetic division. This is a shortcut way of dividing polynomials derived from doing polynomial long division. The only way this works is if what you are dividing by has a degree of 1. We're going to take a look at the process. This is the basic steps. We will look at exceptions and weird things on problems 3 and 4. To start with, we're going to make a little box, and then we're going to look for the coefficients of all the terms. Now, the one thing we want to check is we need to make sure that we have all the terms. So notice this one starts with r cubed, it goes r squared, r, and then a constant, so we are missing no terms. Once again, when we get to 3 and 4, we will look at what happens when you are missing a term. So, next to the little box, we're going to start writing the coefficients. So the -9, which was in front of the r cubed, the 56, which was in front of the r squared, the -15 that went with the r, and the constant 18. You will then want to leave a space because we will be writing numbers immediately below. We'll put a line, and underneath the last number we're going to put another box where we're going to end up with our remainder. In the box on the left, what we need to do is put in the number that makes what you're dividing by equal 0. If we solve it in this case, we should be getting 6. Then, as a procedure goes, the very first number is dropped down to the bottom. All numbers on the bottom get multiplied by the number in the box. So the -9 gets multiplied by the 6. That should give us -54. That gets written in the next spot. We're going to kind of do this on diagonals. Then we do the math. 56 minus 54 should give us 2. 2 is now on the bottom. It gets multiplied by the 6, the number in the box. So 2 times 6 is going to be a positive 12. -15 plus 12 should give us -3. The -3 now gets multiplied by the number in the box, the 6, so that should give us -18. 18 minus 18 gives us 0, so there is no remainder in this case. To write out the answer, we take the degree of what we were dividing by and we decrease it by 1. So since we started with an r cubed, our answer is going to start with an r squared. The -9 then becomes the coefficient on the r squared. Then we proceed in descending order. So 2 would now be the coefficient in front of the r, and the -3 is now the constant. Note that if we take what we were dividing by, the r minus 6, and we multiply it by the -r squared plus 2r minus 3, if we multiply those two back together, we should get our original term. If you wish to check this, pause the video and take a second and try it. It will work. For our second example, start with our box. Once again, do a quick check of your exponents. Those will go 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the constant, so everything's accounted for. So we write the coefficients down. So we have a 1 for the x to the 4th, -1 for the x cubed, -17 for the x squared, 4 for the x, and -34 for the constant. Remember to leave room to write your number down, put your line underneath, and then a box underneath the last term for the remainder. Remember, the number in the little box to the left is whatever makes what you were dividing by equal 0. So in this case, we should be going with -4. Once again, running through the procedure. First number automatically drops down. And the numbers on the bottom get multiplied by the number in the box. So the 1 times -4 will give us -4. -1 plus -4 will be -5. -5 gets multiplied by the number in the box of -4. That should give us a +20. -17 plus 20 will give us 3. 3 is down the bottom, so it gets multiplied by the number in the box of the -4. 3 times -4 will give us -12. 4 minus 12 will give us -8. -8 times -4 should give us a +32. And -34 plus the 32 will give you a -2 for a remainder. This time the degree of what we're dividing is 4. So if we subtract 1, that means our first term is going to be a cube. So technically it's a 1x cubed. You may leave off the 1 if you wish. Then in descending order. So it'll be -5 in front of the x squared, 3 in front of the x, -8, the number in front of the box, will be the constant. Now with the constant, what we're going to do is we're going to make a fraction. The remainder becomes the numerator of the fraction. So -2 goes on the top. What we are dividing by, in this case the x plus 4, becomes the denominator. I would like to point out at this point, depending on whose answer keys you're looking for, they may drop the 1 from the leading coefficient, and sometimes they take the minus sign, that's with the remainder, and move it out in front of the parentheses. Hopefully this is a good start for you. We'll be looking at examples 3 and 4 in the next video.